The shoe salesman with the grand illusion.
Marty Mauser never saw himself as a common shoe salesman. In his mind, the world owed him grand recognition. He called himself Marty Supreme and believed he was the face of table tennis in the United States, a man destined to be on the cover of a Wheaties box. But the reality was far more desperate. To fund his trip to the British Open, this genius didn't hesitate to rob his own uncle's shop at gunpoint. Marty didn't believe he was stealing. He was simply taking what was promised to fulfill his high mission. This was the beginning of a tragic chain of events driven by an oversized ego.
The peak of illusion in London. Upon arriving in London, Marty's ego swelled more than ever. He complained bitterly about being placed in a dump while officials stayed at the Ritz. Before the press, he arrogantly proclaimed himself the ultimate product of Hitler's defeat. He even used cheap psychological tricks to flirt with famous actress Kay Stone just to prove he was also a star. But then the first slap from reality arrived. In the finals, Marty was completely humbled by Koto Endo, a Japanese opponent with a strange, silent paddle. Instead of accepting defeat, his ego exploded in rage. Marty screamed, accused his opponent of cheating, and demanded a rematch. He could not accept that a genius like him could lose.
Degradation and scams. Returning to the US empty-handed and banned by the International Table Tennis Association, Marty fell into a pit of despair but kept his arrogance intact. He teamed up with his friend Wally to travel to underground casinos to hustle amateur players, swindling them with his professional skills. The peak of his degradation was when he dragged Rachel, his childhood friend who was pregnant with a child he refused to take responsibility for, into a lost dog reward scam. Marty Supreme, the man who once dreamed of world glory, was now using a pregnant woman as bait to make a few $1,000s. Ultimate humiliation for a second chance. The price of arrogance was a total collapse of dignity. To get a ticket to Japan for the World Championship, Marty had to go back and beg Milton Rockwell, a man he had previously insulted. Here, we witness the complete destruction of the genius persona. In exchange for a seat on the plane, Marty agreed to strip and endure a spanking with a ping-pong paddle in front of the laughing elite. The self-proclaimed genius was now nothing more than a clown performing for the rich to buy a sliver of hope. The final tragedy and late awakening. Marty's selfishness led to a bloody conclusion. During a desperate attempt to collect money from the dog scam, a shootout erupted. Rachel was shot and seriously wounded right before Marty's eyes. Her screams in the hospital were the harshest wake-up call for his mistakes. In Japan, Marty realized his ego had cost him everything. He was removed from the official championship and treated only as a mascot for a pen company. Though he eventually defeated Endo in an unofficial exhibition match, it was a bitter victory achieved through tears. The cost of being supreme. The film ends with Marty sitting by Rachel's hospital bed, quietly accepting the child he once denied. Marty Supreme may have been a table tennis genius, but his ego turned his life into a wreckage of betrayed relationships. Marty's story is a powerful lesson. When you are too busy proving you are supreme, you forget how to be a decent human being.